in a
St. Joe County
crash and is not responding to their phone. The emergency location is latitude 41 point, longitude -85 point, with an estimated search radius of 5 meters. This message will repeat in 5 seconds.
You probably need to alert on that one. Hey, can you hear me, sir?
The owner of this iPhone was in a severe...
Hey, available unit, Kalamazoo Indian Prairie, Kalamazoo Indian Prairie, for a PI. There's a male subject that's yelling.
St. Joe County 911, where's your emergency?
It's at 16 Indian Prairie Road.
Okay, is there a car crash?
I'm not sure what's going on out here. There's a car in my yard, and there's people out here yelling.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they hit a tree out here or what. Well, they took my mailbox down, for one thing.
Okay. How many people are outside?
No. And I don't know if there's people hurt.
1 Indian Prairie. For a car in the yard, I believe it's a PI accident, timeout 2240.
1-3, you got 2 vehicles involved. Oh, 3-foot aircraft, stand by.
Clear. 5456, 615.
I got 2 stations here.
Clear, 2 patients.
I'll get that, you got seconds.
Clear.
Do we have any traffic in that one?
Clear entrapment in 1 vehicle.
All 3, we have 2 entrapped, not breathing.
2 entrapment, not breathing.
So is it a single vehicle with 2 occupants or 2 vehicles?
2 vehicles.
2 vehicles and both drivers are dead?
That's all coming from Hanson. I'm half mile. He said 2 vehicles, 2 trapped, 2 not breathing.
Well, why don't you get there and figure out what you get or what you have and then call me back.
Okay. Yeah. Just whenever you guys get a chance, can you print off the weather for me?
Yeah, we'll do.
Oh, I guess right now we'll just figure out what we got. I'll probably have one of these guys do our photos. I might have you take a squad car back and help grab all the AI stuff. You and Brad can go back.
Okay.
If we need the AIs.
In that back room?
Yes, but we'll get with him to figure out what he all needs. And then this 2 vehicle.
Dakota, go move our car and block traffic down that way.
541, good man.
We'll go fight. Go fight?
Clear, 541 in command.
Hey, go block traffic down that way. They're air here. I saw that one. I stopped there originally and then I'm like, I don't know if it's just a busted out headlight or what. Or is this car involved?
I'm the one that called in.
Do you have any like a ring doorbell camera or any security cameras outside? No? Okay. Yeah, people might be sitting here.
No, but I heard they took my son's mailbox, they took my mailbox.
Bring the cutter.
We have here in St. Joseph County the largest Amish population in the state of Michigan. And normally the Amish people keep to their own business and don't come to court. But we have a case today that's of some considerable interest, and we're going to be addressing that in a bit. So welcome everyone to the 3B District Court. All right, well, let's take care of Mr. Bontrager. We've got lots of people here interested in that. Are you Harley J. Bontrager?
Yes, sir.
And you're here with your attorney, Jessica LaFond?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Ms. LaFond.
Good morning, Judge.
The allegation in this case is that on June 30th, that you were driving a motor vehicle on Indian Prairie Road, just a few miles into Michigan, while under the influence of alcoholic liquor, and by operation of the vehicle, you caused the death of Rosalie M. Yoder. That is a felony punishable by up to 15 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $10,000. Carries 2 points on your driving record, and it carries 6 points on your driving record and requires that your license be suspended. Count 2 is the identical count on Marcia A. Miller, operating while intoxicated, causing a death. There are people here, I suspect, on behalf of Ms. Yoder, Ms. Miller, and on your behalf, another lady in the Amish community on it. Troyer died recently, but that's not related to this. So this matter is of considerable interest in the community, and particularly in the Amish community. In Michigan, when you're charged with a felony offense, you have a right to have something called a preliminary examination. And a preliminary examination is a hearing where it must be determined that there is probable cause to believe that a crime was committed and probable cause that you did it. Mr. Bontrager, you don't get found guilty or not guilty at a preliminary examination. That's supposed to be set within 14 days of today's date. We also set what's called a pre-exam conference before that time. You have posted a bond in the amount of $40,000 cash or surety. There are a number of conditions on that bond, which we'll address here in a minute. I'm going to show that you're pleading not guilty and set a pre-exam conference. Ms. LaFond, in the normal course of events, the pre-exam conference would be July 25th, I believe, and the prelim would be August 1st. Does that work for you?
Judge, I have already talked to Mr. Bontrager about the possibility of needing to waive the 21 days because of the, I would say, significant amount of discovery that there will be in this case. I don't know if we can do that on the record or if we can sign a 21-day waiver now. I did speak with Mr. Marvin, who indicated that he's waiting on that discovery as well. I don't know if.
All right, well, you have a right to 14 days for the first one, 21 days for the preliminary examination. This will probably be helpful. I won't be here, and Judge Pattison will be there himself. I would set the pre-exam conference for August 1st and the prelim for August 8th. Is that acceptable?
That sounds good, Judge. Thank you.
All right. The prosecutor, these cases very often take a while to resolve. There may be accident reconstruction experts looking at the scene. Modern vehicles have a little device we call a black box in the vehicle, which can be read out, and it would show how fast the vehicle was going, when the brakes were applied. Things I didn't have when I was a prosecutor. We used to have to measure skid marks and do other things. Now they've got a computer that will tell you how fast the car was going and what was what. There may also be waiting for lab reports regarding blood alcohol level or other things. If there is a preliminary examination, that will be on the afternoon of August 8th, and that would be when testimony would be taken about what happened. Is there probable cause to believe a crime was committed? And is there probable cause to believe that he did it? If that's so, the matter will be transferred to the circuit court for a trial. He also has the right to waive that hearing after discussing this with his lawyer and getting all the police reports and photographs and autopsy reports and accident reports. They may determine just by reading all of that that there is enough probable cause, and he can waive the right to have that hearing, simply have the matter transferred to circuit court. He's retained Attorney LaFond. She appears here regularly, so she's not going to make any decision until she's had a chance to see all the evidence. Now, let's talk about your bond conditions. You live in the state of Indiana and you have my permission to reside in Indiana, but the bond also has some other conditions I want to remind you of. You're not to use any drugs or alcohol. You're not to use or possess any firearms. You're not to have any assaultive or threatening behavior. And I think you're under pretrial supervision. Did you go and meet with Melissa regarding that? Do you have a tether on?
No, just
That's up, the portable one. All right. Now, I'm familiar with the Rumspringa concept because I've been here since 1980. And so you're trying to decide whether you're going to join the church or not. That's certainly up to you. But all these other conditions apply. I expect you're going to be in compliance with everything we've ordered. Stay in contact with your lawyer. Are you still at the East 160 South address in LaGrange?
Judge, I would just note that temporarily he's staying at the Psalm 51 Ranch in Sturgis. He is still technically residing at that house on, well, no, that LaGrange address actually is not the right one, Judge. I can give you where he'll be staying when he's not at the ranch, or if you would like to use the ranch address, I'll leave that.
What's that?
For the ranch, Judge?
Yes.
Would you like the other address, Judge?
No, that's fine. Is that the old Heartland Academy?
I don't know the answer to that, Judge.
All right, anyway, are you employed?
He's not working right now, but there is work on the ranch, of course.
All right. Well, it sounds like you're addressing things. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Ms. LaFonda, anything else we need to put on the record here?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, you may go to Indiana to visit your family or for employment. You can't go to any other state without permission of the court. All right, for the rest of you that are here, thank you for being here. You're welcome to come next time or the time after that or anytime. You're free to go, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Hello?
Hey, on a at least one fatal right now, possibly double fatal accident. White Pigeon Township. So I have on en route for AI stuff. Our suspect driver is 18 years old and blew a .16 on PBT.
Okay.
Last I seen on the TAR card, we weren't making those. We're not making these arrests. But he is. He's a 1.6.
1.6. I got good SFSTs too.
You got an interview or?
Got an interview.
Okay. I'm the helicopter's coming in. You want me to call Dave, see if he wants me to lodge? He gave us some admissions. Might be able to get him under Miranda, giving us some more statements. Sounds like he was passing this car. Where I'm sitting, it's a no passing zone.
They're laying them right there.
Yeah, call Dave.
Okay. Well,
but who are the fatals?
I don't have any names. They are Mennonite / old Amish. They're young kids. But I think they might know each other, so it might be like they were screwing around and went to pass his buddy. Oh, please, blades don't come off, that'll hurt.
You and I are gonna be in pieces.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. I'll give Dave a call just to confirm he doesn't want us to lodge him. But we do have a PBT of a 1.6, so I mean, that's pretty crazy. Kills 2 people, doesn't go to jail, so.
Oh, hell yeah. No, yeah, call him if you want to too.
All right, I'll give Dave a call, and then I'll just start a text thread up with you and the undersheriff. I'll get you some names here when I got them.
Cool, thank you.
All right, thanks. Yeah, bye.
Good morning, everyone. Once again, we have a lot going on this morning. Mr. Marvin, the county prosecutor, is here. We've got several other people. We have a number of people who are also here today following the Harley Bontrager case. This is file number 231210FD, People versus Harley J. Bontrager. That's you, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Bontrager, as we discussed at your arraignment, you're charged with some very serious offenses. The allegation is that on or about June 30th of 2023 in Wake Pigeon Township, that you were operating a motor vehicle while you were intoxicated, causing the death of Rosalie M. Yoder, count 1, and Marcia A. Miller, count 2. Those are felonies. It's a form of manslaughter, actually punishable by up to 15 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $10,000. Because this is a felony, it requires that there be a pre-exam conference and a preliminary examination. You were here 10 days ago or so with your lawyer, Jessica LaFond. She's here with you today. She and Prosecutor Marvin have been discussing this case. I've been on vacation. They've been working. And we aren't quite where we need to be. Mr. Marvin, what's the circumstance here?
Your Honor, I discussed with defense counsel that we'll leave it on for prelim. And in the meantime, I've reached out to get a copy of either the medical examiner's report or a death certificate or both. And when I get that, I'm going to pass it along, and it will likely end in a waiver.
Let me explain what that means to everybody that's here. This case has got quite a lot of interest in the Amish community. Some of you are, maybe many of you or all of you are from Indiana, but we have the largest Amish population in the state here in St. Joe County. From time to time, we get people from the Amish community with interest in our case. As a rule, they don't like to come to court. And I guess I don't blame them. That's probably a pretty good rule. But this is a felony charge. It's a form of manslaughter. It's punishable by 15 years imprisonment. And in Michigan, when you're charged with a felony offense, you have the right to have what's called a preliminary examination. I explained a little bit of this last time, that maybe all of you weren't here. A preliminary examination is a hearing where the prosecutor is obliged to show probable cause that a crime was committed and probable cause that the person charged did it. In this case, was driving a vehicle while intoxicated and caused the death of these two young women. If the prosecutor can prove that, the matter is then transferred to the circuit court for a potential trial or a plea. The hearing at district court is only to determine whether there's probable cause. Now, the defendant also can waive the right to have that hearing, saying, I accept the fact that you can establish probable cause that I was intoxicated and that this accident caused the death of these two girls. Ms. LaFond has been retained by the defendant, and she's an experienced criminal defense attorney. She wants to see all the facts before she advises her client whether they should have a preliminary examination or whether he should waive it. And this happened just in late June, which is 40 plus days ago.
The 30th, Your Honor, I believe.
So
today would be 31
30
days.
So sometimes it takes a while to get the reports back. The toxicology report regarding blood alcohol level, and more importantly, the autopsy report or the medical examiner report. Sometimes it takes a while to get those back, and both defense and prosecution are waiting for that. So we're going to continue this matter to next Tuesday, August 8th at 1 o'clock for a prelim. Now that could take two forms. Well, it could take three. One, we could have a preliminary examination where I hear testimony about this accident and what happened, and try to make a determination whether there's probable cause to bind the matter over to circuit court. Two, the defendant could get all the information that they're waiting for, and they could elect to waive that examination and simply have the matter taken to circuit court. That will take about 2 minutes. Or for one reason or another, the matter could be adjourned again. The defendant has posted bond. He's made every court appearance and he's hired a lawyer. And as far as I know, he's in compliance with all the terms of his bond. But the next date for us to proceed would be August 8th at 1 o'clock. Again, it's a public proceeding. You're all welcome to be here. These are also broadcast on YouTube, and you probably don't participate in YouTube, but they are available for viewing remotely. Anyway, I'll be here next Tuesday at 1 o'clock, and we'll see how we proceed at that time. All right, thank you. You're all certainly willing to stay. You're welcome to go, and we'll address this further next Tuesday. Thank you, Ms. Stefani.
Thank you. All right, Harley, go ahead, step out. All right, turn around, put your hands behind your back, okay? You're being placed under arrest for OWI. All right, Harley, I'm gonna double lock these so they don't pinch down on your wrist, okay? Okay. Do you know your rights?
I do not.
Okay, so you're
I grew up in an Amish school,
okay.
So I do not.
Oh, so they're Amish. Do you know them?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Half-assed.
They weren't with you?
No.
Okay.
Not at the moment.
Okay. With those rights in mind, do you want to talk to me if I have questions?
Not as of now. I'm too.
Okay, that's perfectly fine.
Brain farted to know what's going on right now.
Okay.
Could you answer me a question? Are those people okay?
I'm not quite sure yet. I've literally just been dealing with you, okay?
Okay. That's understandable.
I'm sorry, so...
I appreciate that. That's fine.
And go ahead and have a seat, okay? I have some more things I gotta read you, alright?
Alright.
Again, I appreciate you being cooperative, okay? Watch your arms and legs.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Harley?
Yes, sir.
Alright. Alright, Harley, I gotta read this to you, okay?
Okay.
I am a peace officer. You are under the arrest of the offense of operating a vehicle while intoxicated due to the consumption of alcoholic liquor, a controlled substance, or other intoxicating substance or a combination. And operating a vehicle while less than 21 years of age and having an alcoholic content. I am requesting that you take a chemical test to check for alcohol and or controlled substances or other intoxicating substances in your body. If you were asked to take or took a preliminary breath test before your arrest, you must still take the test I am offering you. If you refuse to take this chemical test, it will not be given without a court order, but I may seek to obtain such a court order. Your refusal to take this test shall result in the suspension of your operator's or chauffeur's license and vehicle group designation or operating privilege, and the addition of 6 points to your driving record. After taking my chemical test, you have the right to demand that a person of your own choosing administer a breath, blood, or urine test. You will be given a reasonable opportunity for such test. You are responsible for obtaining a chemical analysis of a test sample taken by a person of your own choosing. The results of both chemical tests shall be admissible in a judicial proceeding and will be considered with other admissible evidence in determining your innocence or guilt. Are you a hemophilia, diabetic, or condition require the use of anticoagulant?
No, sir.
Okay. Will you take a blood test for me?
Well, I don't know. What does that get me?
What was that?
What does that get me?
I mean, it's a yes or no. Will you take the test for me or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Okay. Central 7524.
24.
I'll be en route to search ZR with one male. Alright, Harley, step out for me.
I don't need ER, guys, sir.
What was that?
I don't need emergency attention.
No, no, this is for the blood draw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, you don't have to get checked in the hospital or anything like that. You're like, why are we here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I'll take those cuffs off in a minute, okay? go ahead and have a seat right here. Alright, we're gonna go to the car. Have a seat again. Watch your arms and legs, all right? Central 2524. I'll be clear the ER and route to the jail with one meal.
We are back. We're going to address the matter of People versus Harley J. Bontrager. That's you, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're here with your attorney, Jessica LaFond.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon. Also present is prosecuting attorney David Marvin, and we have some interested family members here also. I'll defer to you, Mr. Marvin. Where are we going here today?
Your Honor, this will be waived. I've accepted a waiver. We'll get it filed and submitted to the court. We could also do it on the record if you like.
Why don't we just memorialize it? Mr. Bontrager, you've made every hearing here. So have a lot of the people that are here. When you were here last time, I mentioned that this hearing is called a preliminary examination, where the prosecutor has the burden of establishing probable cause that a crime was committed and probable cause that you did it. That's a fairly easy standard to make. It's a much lower standard than proof beyond a reasonable doubt. You have a right to have the examination. You also have a right to waive it. And I know that your lawyer and Mr. Marvin have been discussing this matter for several weeks. You signed a document a little earlier this afternoon. It says, I, Harley J. Bontrager, understand I have a right to employ an attorney. I may request a court-appointed attorney if I'm financially unable to employ one, and you have employed your own attorney. I have a right to a preliminary examination where it must be shown that a crime was committed and probable cause exists to charge me with that crime. I voluntarily waive my right to a preliminary examination and understand that I will be bound over to the circuit court on the charges in the complaint and warrant. And is that what you did a little earlier this afternoon?
Judge, I would just note, we have not signed that yet, but he is waiving the exam. And
all right, so are you going to waive the exam as the language I just read?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. As we discussed previously, it's alleged that on or about June 30th, you were operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated, 2 counts, causing the death of Rosalie M. Yoder and Marcia A. Miller. Those are felonies punishable by up to 15 years in prison and a fine of up to $10,000. As I said, they're actually a form of manslaughter. The next stage in the proceedings is that the matter will be set for a status conference in the circuit court. That's the court upstairs. Judge Stutzman is the sitting circuit court judge. And you're entitled to have a trial on this where the prosecution would have the burden of proving the case beyond a reasonable doubt. The matter could also be resolved with some sort of settled resolution. I think the parties will be working on that. But as soon as I sign that, I lose jurisdiction of the matter and it becomes the jurisdiction of the circuit court. You've posted a very substantial $40,000 surety bond. You've made every court appearance that you were scheduled to be here for. So you're allowed to reside. Well, I think you may reside in Sturgis, but you're allowed to go to Indiana if you need to work there. Otherwise, stay in contact with your attorney. The matter will be set for further proceedings in the circuit court. This may take a while. Once the matter gets bound over to circuit court, it's set for a status conference. But right now, they've probably got trials scheduled all the way through the end of this year. So it could take a while once the matter is bound over to circuit court, but no one's going to forget that this case needs to be addressed. All right, Mr. Bontrager, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right. I thank you all for being here. You've been here for many of these hearings, and as I've said, you don't often come to court, but you're welcome at any time. All right, this matter is completed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.